All right, there we go. Now y'all should be able to hear me. There's my overlay. All right. A little odd for a Saturday, but this will do. What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We are live. What's up, Richard? So I was having some real serious technical difficulties here earlier. I didn't know if this was going to work today or not, but we managed to make it work. Can you guys hear me okay? Can y'all see me okay? The revolution is what's up. What's going on, man? Josh B, what's up, man? Trying to upgrade a little bit, trying to make some strides. We got this my brothers are absolute computer geniuses. I understand enough to be dangerous, but they helped me build that little monster right there. I would otherwise have not been able to build that, but my younger brother bought a really brand new nice graphics card, and he gave it to my youngest brother because he's the one that does all of our editing and also does like all the graphics and stuff for Collect 3D prints for the for all the social media stuff, and then he also does all my editing and stuff. And so he said, look, I'll give you this brand new high-end fancy graphics card, and you give me I'll just give it to you for all the work that you're doing. And then he said, oh well, hell, if you're gonna do that, then I'll give my graphics card to Omar. And then I was like, well, if you're gonna give me a nice graphics card, then I gotta go hard, right? I mean, I couldn't stick that nice graphics card like in like a what was a gaming computer back then, from 2012, I think, from 2012. So it was a super old computer, and I was way overdue for a new setup. And so yeah, just kind of working the kinks out a little bit, and trying to really just trying to have a nice setup, because I would like to be able to do like a little bit better quality recording. Streaming is always going to be a little bit odd, but I'd like to do a little bit better. I'd like to do a little bit better recording. I'd like to be able to record in 4K. So I really needed a computer that can keep up with that. I don't know if you guys ever heard like some of my videos whenever I would have two cameras. So if like I'm running like camera on my face and then camera on my on my mat when I'm opening product, that poor little engine that could, man, was just it was struggling, and it would like the fans would go off, the processor would be going nuts, and it just wasn't the best. So it was time, man, and I'm very thankful that my brothers both are like I said, absolute whizzes with computers. They helped me pick out all the stuff. They helped me pick out all the right stuff, and hopefully they kind of, I guess, future-proofed me a little bit, to where I have a good enough base to where like I can just maybe like upgrade memory going forward, or maybe just upgrade to a nicer graphics card or something later on down the line. That's something that I want to do. But we in here, man. We're just trying to up this stuff. Most people say it's estimated year return for PSA. But is that from the day you sent, or the day that they received, or the day that they entered into the system? It is from the day they entered it into the system. So my cards, for example, I sent them in January. They arrived. I sent them January 18th. They arrived January 28th. And they didn't get checked in until March something or other. So technically my cards have been there for a year, but according to PSA, they haven't been in the system for a year. So they're about 2 months behind on from the day that it actually arrived at PSA to the time that they actually put it into the system, and then from there it's like a year. So really, you're waiting. From what I've seen on average from people that are getting their stuff back on YouTube, everybody that I've heard says anywhere between 13 and 14 months is kind of what they're looking at. So that's kind of ideally probably what I'll be looking at as well. So 14 months total time, 12 months from the day that they put it into the system is kind of what I've seen. Elon, what's up, my brother? Good morning. Good to see you. How about PSA transparent on their backlog? Didn't think it would be more than 10 million, but 13 million. Sheesh, 6 million cards left to go. I have, so there's a couple of things that I want to do going forward, and I'll talk a little bit about it here with you guys, is that my Wednesday PSA update video going forward is going to be more of a weekly kind of hobby news. So like any big topics in the news or in the hobby. So I'm going to be doing that. And then as a piece of that is going to be going over the PSA data. But I haven't looked at the latest post that they put out with some more information. And then I haven't heard the new podcast that they put out, that they're putting out for PSA. So I need to check those out as part of my homework to get ready for like that video on Wednesday that's going to come out. As it always comes out every Wednesday, it's just going to now be the PSA data plus, any news or anything like that. So, so I'll be checking it out. Nice course here, but yeah, man. Again, I just kind of went hard, right? I mean, if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. Hobby Beast, what's up, man? What's going on? Good to see you again. How about PSA being transparent? Oh, okay. All right. I have to double. Any word on Collect 3Ds making cases for horizontal slabs yet? HGA hooked me up. Reslabbed 1 and graded, and slab 3 horizontals in less than a day. Paid for the 60-day service. So those should be up on the website now, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Collect 3D prints. It may or may not already be up on the website. So yeah, so you have to look at here. Let me, because I only have one monitor right now. So Chrome tab right here. Share. So when you go to the Collect 3D Prints websites, if you use the link in the description, it's an affiliate link, so it helps me out. And you go to HGA, you want to click orientation where it says HGA horizontal. That's where you want to click, and then from there you can pick your color and then pick your quantity. So they are available on the website already if you want to check them out. But that's where you would go. You would click on the drop down that says HGA horizontal, and that's going to get you this case right here. Oop. That's going to get you this case right here for the horizontal slabs. I love these things, man. These things are so badass. But that's what you got to do. Jim Mint 77. Anyone use Card Ladder? I would recommend Card Hedge. They are a sponsor of the channel, but I was using Card Hedge before they approached me to be a sponsor. They also have a collection management tool if you want to check that out. Let me show you. And then again, also if you want to use the affiliate link, it does help you boy out. See. They do have a collection management piece on here, which you can use to like keep track of all your cards. And if there is a card that you have in your collection that is not on their file or on their dashboard, you can request it, and it will. So this is my collection so far that I have. I've put in some of it in here. I'm working on trying to put as many of them as I can. But yeah, so you can manage your collection here, and then also in your dashboard, it kind of keeps your portfolio value and then your how much profit you have and all this other stuff. So my portfolio size is only 10 right now because I've only put in 10 cards here so far. But I'll be putting more in there as I get along. But I'd recommend Card Hedge. I've used Sports Card Investor when they first kind of kicked off and started their thing, and then I don't know how I ended up getting approached on Card Hedge, but I checked out Card Hedge, and it's a little bit cheaper, and it just kind of has all the same functionality. But then I started using it, and they gave me an affiliate link, and then they became a sponsor of the channel. So so shout out to Card Hedge. But I would recommend Card Hedge. That's just me. What's up, Thrift Beast? What's going on, man? Will you do a reveal of your Akeem gift in live stream or make a video when you get them back? That's a good question. I'm probably gonna do a really big video about it just because it took for freaking ever, and I've been talking so much crap about them. But we'll see. The National this year will be a bloodbath at best. How so, John? A bloodbath? That's a bit dramatic, huh? A bloodbath. How do you? Well, why do you say it'll be a bloodbath? Like in terms of just prices going down, or what? Just got mine back today from Ultra Modern. 32 of them, but not my vintage yet. How long were you overall, John, on your order? Did you see that CSG had a pop report? I did see that. I have not messed with it yet. I need to take a look at it because I'm on there as well. My last HGA order hasn't moved since being received October 4th. Wow. That sucks, Michael. That really does suck. Alf G, what up, man? Michael Stone, I saw it saying, but not bad, but not as good as PSA. PSA really does have a good user interface on the pop report. I really like it. I think it's good. The Cooper Cup show, Sunday 6:30 p.m. I agree. I think he's gonna go hard. We'll see what's what. If you haven't checked out the SGC Slab Stock live interview, it was great. SGC answered a ton of questions about how they grade their cards. It was a great interview. I have not seen that either. This week has been a very, very busy week for me at work and here at home. Both of my boys are in baseball now, so it's been kind of nuts. But I need to keep up with all of that stuff. I am so cold right now on everything, but I think after the Super Bowl, everything will kind of calm down, and a lot of stuff to go over. SCI went into their actual site and had a tour. Nice as well. I'm sure you're on their YouTube page. Sports card investors. What are we talking about here? Okay. Have you watched the video of the HGA process? Nope. I saw that, but I haven't watched the video yet. I definitely want to check that out. Give me some Super Bowl predictions. What do y'all think? I think I don't know what the odds are. What are the odds? So here's what I'll say. I definitely want Stafford to win one before Joe Burrow wins one. But man, you can't really. So the spread is Los Angeles -4. Dang, that's the over under is 48 points. I think that's a bit on the high end. -85. Los Angeles, Cincinnati's a +160. Rams are 10-10 against the spread this season. Dang, the Rams are 10-10 against the spread this season. So obviously Los Angeles is the favorite. Not a big, huge favorite, but still, I don't know, man. I like I said, deep down in my heart, I want him to get. I want Matt Stafford to get him one first before Joe Burrow gets one, and then from there, I just think Joe Burrow needs to wait a couple years. That's just me. I want to see Stafford get one. Does Card Hedge track vintage pricing? So Card Hedge tracks a lot. There's I think like 45 or 50,000 cards that they have on their platform. But again, if you look for a card that's not on there, they do have a submission, and it's usually like you can submit what cards you want them to put on the tool, and it's usually 24 hours. I've submitted several, and they've all been, if I submit them in the morning, I've seen some of them get put in the tracker like that day or that evening, but definitely within the next day they're in there. So if you sign up right now, Jim, I think they give you a free 7-day trial for you to check it out. And then I think for free they'll allow you to check comps on whatever they have in their in their tracker. Rams laying 4. Yeah, Joey B gets his first Super Bowl and his cards go to the moon. I do not. I have 2 Joe Burrow rookie cards, and neither one of them are real rookie cards. They're like score with. I have one where he's got on an Alabama jersey and another one where he's got on an LSU jersey. So I do not have a single dog in this fight from a collector standpoint. It's going to be a very, I don't have that many cards to begin with football wise. If I had to segment my collection, I would say it's like 85% basketball and like 15% football, because I don't really just follow football that hard to have a PC in football. The only PC that I would ever have would be the early 2000 Ravens, because when my Texans when Houston didn't have a team, I was a big Ravens fan. I was a big Ray Lewis fan. But so if I had to start a PC, I would say I would probably start. It's actually not a bad idea. I might want to start like a Ray Lewis PC. But even when the Texans got, the Texans haven't really done anything substantial that would make you feel good about starting any kind of a PC with them. I had a little bit of a JJ Watt PC going on, but then he left, and so I really don't have anything. I was really, really excited about Deshaun Watson. The fact that he was going to be a franchise quarterback and he was going to be our quarterback. He was going to be our guy to lead our franchise. And then we all know what happened there, but kind of is what it is. But I wish I had more stuff. I wish I had more of an interest in football to collect like that. I just don't. For me, it's all basketball, really. I was gonna pick the Rams, but Bengals are doing it for Harambe, so I gotta go with That's funny. My guess is Von Miller plus 14. Jesus. Been watching a lot of large PSA reveals lately, and it's a good insight of what's being sent during the rush. It's so many fringe rookies, rookie base cards, and nothing. Yeah, exactly. So that's what's making up the majority of the backlog at PSA, right? It's all these people that right around February, March of last year, and even some before that, were really just looking to buy a card for $1, submit it, get a 10 on it, pay $9 to submit it, get a 10 on it, and then sell it for $30, right? Or sell it for $25, or hope that rookie ends up being a blowout star in like year 2 or 3, and then sell the car for $100, $200, $300, depending on the card. And they were sending them in by the hundreds, right? So 15. I can't imagine the guys that sent in like bowl rookies. Can you imagine like guys that sent in like really nice bowl rookies? Prism silvers and prisms and stuff like that just didn't pan out. I can't imagine how much. I'm gonna be curious to see at the end of. Maybe like midway through this year, I'm going to take another glance at that pop report for Zion rookie cards, because I guarantee you anybody that ripped 2019, 2020 Prism and pulled a Zion sent it off to get graded. 100%. I 100% believe that. And, the population report on that is just going to be stupid. So, it just kind of is what it is, man. But that's the bulk of what's been sitting over there, this whole time. So we'll see what it is. But been watching a lot. Yeah. So sorry for all the typo. Oh man, I hate autocorrect. It pisses me off, especially when you're trying to cuss and you type duck, or you type what you want to type and then it autocorrects to duck. Oh, that pisses me off. That pisses me the duck off. But that's kind of watching the Bulls, surfing ComC for some SGC deals. Picked up a SGC 9.5 LaMelo Ball rookie emergent silver for $49. That's a good card to have. A lot of people put a lot of stake. I was on my boy JD from Cardhead. Shout out to JD. He was doing a live stream the other day, and he was talking about rookie cards, like what's a real rookie card, right? And of course, everybody wants the RC, right, the one with the shield on it. But I was making an argument that, like, man, I don't really care. I mean, any card from that year is a rookie card. Case in point, those emergence. I have a silver Luka Doncic 2018-2019 Prism emergent silver that, you know, it's in raw form. I haven't sent it off to get graded, but I consider that a rookie card. I don't, you know, I mean, I don't care what anybody says. The 86 Fleer that's so coveted is as Michael Jordan's rookie card has no RC on it because it wasn't his rookie year. I mean, he was drafted in 84. So it's like, you know, what is a rookie card really? You know, it's, you know, it's kind of touch and go there. But the problem with grading is HGA is very hard. They have other graders made us as collectors spoiled and always expected 10s. I do love SGC, but HGA for PC. Yeah, that's kind of the way I go. If I, you know, I'm going to start going through my collection here too to try to see what else I want to send off to HGA for the horizontal slabs. But it's, you know, it's am I saying that wrong? Alabama jersey? I got a feeling that I'm saying that wrong. Didn't he play for Alabama for a while? Somebody else made that comment when I said that one time too, and I got to be saying it wrong. I'm about to show y'all what I have here because I might be looking at that wrong. It might be somebody else. See, here's the one where he's in his like touchdown kings or whatever, but I might be saying that wrong. Oh, Buckeye jersey. Jesus Christ. Why do I keep saying Alabama? Yeah, okay. I'm stupid. Anyway, that's what I have. That's the long and the short of my Joe Burrow collection. So I don't really have a lot, I'm telling you. I don't have a lot of football cards to begin with, but definitely not a lot of Joe Burrow. I have maybe 2 Joe Burrow cards. These new Slam inserts I'm pulling, man, they are legit. I love them. Absolutely love them. I'm gonna be breaking a lot more. I'm gonna be ripping a lot of hoops. You guys know every year I go hard ripping hoops, and this year's no exception. So I just ordered. I ordered 5 blaster boxes, which I already. I ripped a ton of those the other day. I'll go over the hits on another video, but then I also ripped. So I ripped a hobby box already. I want to rip a retail box. I ripped 5 blaster boxes of hoops, just blaster. I want to do. I just bought a sealed box of cello packs, so I'll be ripping all 12 of those. To see what I pull. I mean, just it's such a Houston Rockets rookie heavy season this year, or this year, so that I want to rip as much as I can. What's up, Saucy? What's going on, man? I 2x'd my Joe Burrows, graded 3 left, have 9.5 rookie Stafford and a Prism, and a hollow and Cup autos. That's one thing I got to go look. I have a ton of Cooper Cup stuff because I ripped a lot of what was Cup 20? Was Cup 20 or 21? I can't remember. So I did rip a lot of that stuff, but I had a buddy of mine who collects baseball, 192 card submission to PSA that was 365 days old exactly. He just got it back, and his PSA 10 rate was 40. It was brutal. The most were 8s and 9s. That sucks, man. I've been waiting on a Nolan Ryan rookie card for my PSA for 17 months. I know it's not basketball, but I'm about done with grading cards. Yeah, there's a lot of people that feel that way, man. They're just kind of giving up on grading, altogether. I would encourage you to check out some of the other grading companies, man. Don't give up on grading as a whole, just because you had a bad experience with PSA. Even PSA, I think they're getting over this hump. I imagine in the next year or so they're going to get their shit together, but they're going to lose a lot of margin. Yeah, he went to ESU. Yeah. Sub back from Tim. I'm still excited. I'm so excited to get my first submission back from Tim. Man, those guys over there are doing some serious stuff, man. Let me tell you. I wish I could tell. I wish I could tell you guys what's going on over there and like what they got going on. But it's nuts, man. It's nuts. I'm really excited for them to get to a point to where they can start talking about it because, um, yeah, man, it's dope. It's so dope. I like HGA, but their issues have steered me to trying SGC. Next, I'm going to try TGT. Watched a couple reveals and their labels look really good. Yeah, TGT is a good. Um, if you like the aesthetic and the slab size of PSA, you like that slab size, but you're not really happy with their labels or whatever. I would give TGT a shot before you give SGC a shot, unless you've already gotten an SGC label in your hand and a slab in your hand, and you like the look of it. Um, it's funny. My brother was just in here. He was kind of helping me do some setups here, and he's like, "Man," he goes, and he walked over here. He had never held because he's not a big collector. He had not held an SGC slab in his hand before, and he picked one up and he's like, "Dude, this looks really nice, man." So he finally got one on in his hand, and he's like, "I think people that talk crap about SGC have never gotten a slab in their hand." So, if you're mad at PSA, you don't want to go PSA route anymore, but you still want to do some grading, I would highly recommend you go with a TGT if you want to stay within the same aesthetic of a PSA slab. However, if you are curious enough to go with a SGC slab, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. They are, by and large, the best company for grading right now, in my opinion. I did 3 hobby hoops boxes and a pick your team hobby box. Oh, nice. Okay, so you did 3 hobby boxes of hoops, T? Man, I had somebody hit me up on email. They sent me an email and they were like, "Yo, um, I think he said he was in a group break or he bought a hobby box and he pulled a Jalen Green auto and he's like, I immediately thought about you. I'd love to give you first crack at it." And I'm like, "Bro, that's like a $400 autograph card. Like it's financially it's out of my wheelhouse. Like I'm not going to spend $400 on a single card." So, um, yeah, so Cup was 2017. Oh, that's right. Yep. Cup was 20. When you said that, when I read that, Mike, I was like, "Oh, that's right," because he has the same design as the same rated rookie design as as Mahomes. That's right. I remember now. Just at work counting grading cards / PSA for tomorrow night's guess. Well, so I'm not going to be on tomorrow night, right? Because obviously it's the football, Super Bowl. Nobody's gonna be watching a live stream. I know I won't. My brother's throwing a big party, um, and we're gonna be watching the Super Bowl over there. So I definitely won't be live streaming tomorrow, which is why we switched it over to today. But it kind of is what it is. Pittsburgh teased new stuff was coming in his last video. Man, I haven't watched. I saw the last video that he did. I haven't watched it yet. I saw that he posted a new video. I got so much catching up to do on just a bunch of hobby stuff. So it's kind of a it's kind of a thing. But God, man, I really wish I could talk about it, especially after the meeting I had with some of the developers. Man, just wait, guys. It's definitely like the next level of things for sure. And man, they're putting a lot of work into it, like a lot of serious work into it. So it's exciting, man. I'm really happy for those guys, man. They're killing it. PSA has the name and value. SGC is the best grader. CSG has the nicest plastic by far. By far. I totally agree with that, Ron. They're acrylic. Listen, and I've talked to other guys who own grading companies. I'm not going to say what their names are. I'm not going to say who. But even they have said that CSG's acrylic is like the best by far. And BGS is dying. I completely agree. Nobody knows what's going on with BGS, and it's dying. Good grading tip somewhere. I feel like you should use multiple grading companies. I think so too. I mean, look, if I don't advocate using multiple grading companies for the hell of it, right? But if you were a big PSA collector and you had your reasons for collecting PSA, right? You said, I've historically graded with PSA. I like their, I've liked everything about their company. And then all of a sudden, the things that you liked about the company change. Like, that's like being stuck in an abusive relationship, man. Like, why would you stick around? Like, they're no longer grading accurately. They're no longer turning your cards around in a decent amount of time. They're not making very good decisions from an operational standpoint to give you any warm and fuzzies that they're ever going to get their stuff together within a reasonable amount of time. They completely dragged their feet when it came time to, really be in open and transparent and communicate about what's going on with their business. They just overall completely lost anything, in my opinion, for what they should have been doing. So why continue to grade there? Like, why for the resale? I mean, okay, if you're a flipper and you're a dealer, then I can understand that. But the reason why those cards carry so much value is because of the prestige of the company, and that prestige is no longer there. So what's left? The name? You're gonna pay upwards of 3 to 4x for a slab that doesn't even look that appealing to begin with. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really think that it's, if you're gonna decide on where you're gonna send a card to get your card graded, make sure you like the company, make sure they're doing right by their customers, by the hobby, and make sure that that you're gonna be happy with the product that you get, and that you feel like you're gonna get a good grade, a good assessment, a good shake. Otherwise, what's the point, right? I mean, that's my take. What's up, Top Choice? What's going on, man? Hey, I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you for that super chat, man. Yes, please hit that like button if you haven't already. If you're in with us tonight, hit that like button, share it, please, if you would. It helps me out. I appreciate it a lot. BGS is all but out of the picture in grading now, in my opinion. You know what's funny is that a Ty from Bench Clear Media did an amazing video the other day. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, go check it out, because it was talking about market share and what cards are selling, what cards are moving by grading company. And obviously PSA has the lion's share of the market, right? I think they had maybe about like 80% of all the sales on eBay were PSA cards, right? Volume wise, right? Slab for slab, right? Volume wise, they were the biggest. um but a very close second was SGC, if I'm not mistaken, and then PSA was third, and then HGA was in that mix, but very very small volume wise. I mean, they're new, right? But the other thing was that if you were looking at it from a dollar standpoint, in terms of what people were paying for the slabs, obviously, again, PSA had the lion's share of the market. However, BGS was a close second, because even though right now BGS isn't grading a whole lot of new modern stuff, people aren't sending stuff to BGS like they used to, there's still, from a legacy standpoint, a lot of monster cards out there, right? So you're people who are grading RPAs with BGS, people who are still grading, like Steph Curry rookie cards, Kobe autographs, Kobe, all these big monster cards that have been graded for a long time are still in BGS slabs. So because of that, from a dollar standpoint, they still hold a lot of prestige within the spectrum of all of the other grading companies. But again, a close third was SGC. And if you can look at the graphs that Ty put on, I'm going to link that video because it's such a great video. And I may even do just kind of like a follow-up video to it. But man, such a great video that he did, just kind of showing everything. But the funniest part about all of it, in terms of how many cards are currently for sale now, it's PSA by a long shot, because there's so much out there. It's like the market is being flooded with all new PSA stuff that's just not moving. It's just sitting there. So that was pretty crazy as well to see. So but yeah, it's nuts, man. Again, thank you, Top Choice, for the super chat, man. I appreciate that a lot, dude. Thank you. Thanks for the content, Steve Riley. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. You're very welcome, sir. Someone needs to buy out BGS. I agree, and I think it needs to be SGC. I think SGC needs to buy out BGS. They need a well, if SGC buys out BGS, it would be simply to just like eliminate them as a competitor. and absorb them. It'll be just like hostile takeover type, Wolf of Wall Street type shit. However, I could see them merging with one of the up and coming companies that has a lot of technology and has put already a lot of money and stake in the stuff. So they're dying a slow death, I think, BGS. And I think they're going to be the ones that come out of this a lot worse than PSA. PSA is just going to take a hit on their kind of reputation, right? This is going to be these past 24 months are going to be a pretty dark stain in the history of PSA. And from just strictly an operational standpoint, because I think a lot of what they're going through right now and a lot of the reasons why people are upset with PSA have everything to do with the fact that they completely mismanaged this spike in demand and this spike in the way that they got an influx of orders. So I think if they would have handled that differently, if they would have shut things down a lot sooner, if they would have not been so money hungry and continued to allow people to place massive orders from dealers and people and stuff like that, I think they could have really weathered this thing out and came out on top and really maintained that undisputed number one spot of being the place to go to get your cards graded. I really love BGS, but I don't know how long it takes to grade. Again, nobody knows. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even want to speculate. People love grading RPAs and autos with BGS. Agreed. Yeah, they do. My one somewhat valuable RPA that I have, which was a Deshaun Watson RPA, that's where I wanted to send it because it was just kind of chunky and stuff like that. But now I don't know what's gonna happen. Global, what's happening, man? My man Global out in Australia in the Dionanda. Shout out to all my boys over there in Australia. Yes, thank you. You did did do a great job. Who did a great job? Did I miss something there? PSA in 20 years, the labels turn into bacon. That is true. I have this Jordan, and this is old because it's got a 3-1, but you can kind of see the wave going on. So that is very true. And I think a lot of it just has to do with these old labels basically just being look at the back. The back is a lot worse. Look. It's just the fact that these labels were like printed on essentially paper. There was nothing to them. But if you look at the newer labels now, the newer labels have more of a kind of like a sticker certificate of authenticity kind of looking type deal, which is kind of cool. And yeah, it's a much more robust label as opposed to back in the day. It was just simply no good. I kind of want to send this card in to get regraded because I really think that they gave this one a 9 when it should have been a 10. That's such a good looking card. Luminance is such a good product. I think it gets a bad rap because it was part of the Chronicles, and Chronicles is like tends to be like like poor man's rookie cards, just because they give you so many, but the designs on them are so dope. I mean, you're essentially getting like 10 or 15 different products in one single product. Sorry about the you guys can see that the camera is like if I hit the table, kind of moves around. So as part of this new setup here, I had to completely redo my monitor setup. So I used to have like this three monitor setup, but I only had 2 monitors on there, and then the third monitor is where I actually put the camera. And so I had to kind of take that down, and it kind of screwed with me a little bit. So we're trying to figure out what the next thing is going to be here. So I have 6 packs fresh Fleer, Sprite, Kobe rookies at PSA. Whew. Man, how long have you been waiting on those, Frank? Just curious. PSA won't have the same lion's share on product release after March 2021. I agree. I think their lion's share is gonna start going down. I'm really curious to see if Ty is gonna do use the data that he pulled recently as like a benchmark and then like check it again at the end of the year, or check it again maybe 6 months from now, just to kind of see what those numbers really look like. In the SGC interview, they stated that they do use AI to help with grades as well now, and don't worry about wiping down cards. They wipe them all down and make sure that they're clean. Yeah, that's the SGC has talked about that before. Um, I think everybody kind of throws that AI term around a little loosely, um, because like there's a lot of things that you can check that are mathematical, right? Like, is the corner 90 degrees, right? Um, is your card square? Are the edges sharp? Do the edges are they perfectly perpendicular? Is there any deviation in the edge, right? If there is, then obviously you don't have a clean edge. So there's a lot of things like that. Centering is another one, right? Once you establish what the center of the card should be, or what the card is, then is the card well centered, right? That's all mathematical stuff that should not be objective, right? And so if you're using software and highly scanned images, and you know, you know, they're doing all kinds of things now with computers and optics and things like that. I don't necessarily call that AI. I mean, that's like digitally assisted grading. However, if all of that information of thousands and thousands of cards is going into some kind of a database, and that database is then being analyzed, and there's an algorithm that's constantly changing based on the incoming evidence of new things for a certain set and stuff like that, okay, then maybe you can that's kind of more getting towards AI and learning and machine learning and all that stuff. Algorithm that's constantly changing based on new dynamics and new information. I get that. That's AI. However, scanning a card at 3200 DPI and then zooming into all hell to where you can see the fibers of the card to determine whether or not a card has a sharp corner, that's not AI. That's just a real good scan of the card that you just happen to zoom into all hell on and make your decision. So, but I'm glad. I'm glad that companies are being more open to it and really deciding what they want to do. Do you think we are heading into a junk slab era, Brad? I think we're already in one, man. I think we're already in one, and I think when it's going to become really apparent is in about a couple of months, as PSA works through this massive backlog. They are what I believe to be at the top of their mountain of backlog, and that drop off is really steep because they shut down right around March of last year. Which, if you look at their complete through dates, their dealer complete through dates are right around the beginning of March. And as they come out of that drop is going to go down significantly. And as people are getting those cards back that are worthless now, right? They're worthless. I mean, to the guy that sent in the Bowl rookie cards, that sent in 50 of them, and they all came back 8s and 9s, those cards are worthless. They're worthless. Um, so it's I think we're already there. We're definitely there. I wish CSG would give us an update on label rumors. They're designing something new or keeping the green. Are they keeping the green? So I haven't heard of any rumors, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what's going on there. But listen. That has been my, and even when it really kept me from sending a lot of things. So I think their slab needs a redesign for a couple of different reasons. Number one, the green has got to go, right? We need something a little more neutral. However, there is way too much white space. There's so much dead space that could be cleaned up. There's so much white space that could be cleaned up and making this label a lot smaller, a lot shorter, right? More to the side, because I think they have hands down the best acrylic out of all the companies. I've said it once, I've said it a dozen times. They have the best acrylic. There's just no doubt about it. And I'll get it out of this slab holder here. There we go. They have the best acrylic, hands down. However, that label is not doing them any favors. And if they were to change that label, because the only reason why I don't send more stuff to CSG is because I don't have any more. I'm not a big collector of the Celtics. I'm a huge Supersonics fan because I'm a huge Kemp fan. Kemp's one of my guys, and I have some Gary Payton rookie cards. I got some, obviously I got some Sean Kemp stuff, things like that I want to send in. But I mean, after that, it's really nothing else. Nothing else that I'm sending in that's going to match with this slab, with this design. So if they were to do something a little more neutral, it'll definitely open me up to want to submit a lot more with them. But that's just me. And apparently a lot of other people too, because if they're really considering making changes to their labels, and that's probably why they're getting that same feedback. BGS slabs way better in my opinion than PSA or SGC. CSG is new, and HGA would be a bummer to see the slabs not get any better and become more cheap. BGS definitely has a sturdier slab. They have a tank of a slab. I mean, this is beefy. This is beefy. But that's good segue because I am definitely going to start, now that I have my brother on board helping me out with editing and stuff like that. We're going to be doing a torture test coming up. So I'm going to start gathering up some slabs, or if you guys have slabs that you would not mind throwing away, or you just keep them just to keep them and you want to donate them in the name of science, I'm in need of some SGC slabs, some BGS slabs. I have a couple of SGC slabs, so I don't need SGC slabs. I need BGS slabs. I need maybe like 3 or 4 BGS slabs. So if anybody has any, that I bought this one for like $5 on eBay. But I mean, let's just face it. If the cards are on eBay, it's because somebody wants like, $15 or $20 for them at bare minimum. So, but yeah, if you guys have any old BGS slabs, that cards that you graded from somebody that just didn't work out and you just want to get rid of them, let me know, because I need about 10 of each company. I already reached out to HGA. They said that they're willing to slab up just some junk cards that they got sitting around from breaks that they've done, and send them my way for the torture test, which is awesome that they're willing to do that. I haven't reached out to SGC yet, but I'll probably be reaching out to them. TGT is on board also too. They just said, hey man, let us know how many you need. Obviously I'm gonna have to go buy some PSA stuff. So if you guys have some old PSA slabs, junk slabs that they're just sitting in your box and you know that they're not worth pennies, and you want to donate them in the name of science, let me know. Reach out to me on Instagram or shoot me an email. But I'd love to use them for scientific purposes. Elong, thank you, man. I appreciate that, brother. How far am I from 6,000? I don't even know. I don't really keep up with that. To be honest with you guys, I don't say that just to be emphatic, but I really don't keep up with my sub count. It's funny because my brothers are the ones that really keep up with that. I don't. I wish I cared more about it. I just simply don't. Okay, I need 30 more subscribers to get to 6,000. So thank you. I appreciate that. What's your oldest basketball card? I have to go dig it out somewhere, but I have a Calvin Murphy rookie card. And I also have a Rudy Tomjanovich somewhere around here. It's not his rookie card. I think it's an older one, but that's about as old as it gets. And then from there, I have my 86 Fleer Elijah ones, which are currently sitting at PSA. But those are the oldest cards I have. I'm really not a fan of SGC slabs. I really wish they would give us another slab option. I've cracked heaps of their slabs, and they are very easy to crack also. Yeah, so in terms of ease of cracking, definitely PSA is very easy to crack. I haven't cracked the SGC slab yet, so I don't really know. But I would imagine they're just as easy as well. I'll tell you what's hard to crack, because and the reason why it's hard to crack is because they don't crack, and that's HGA. I'd try to pull a card out of an HGA slab and they just don't crack. I don't know if it's the way that the acrylic that they use or what, but they don't crack. You have to like bend them, like they bend out. I don't know. It's weird, man, but they're really hard to get, to crack. It sucks. It's not good at all. Did you check out that 1994 Skybox Atomic of Clyde Drexler? I put a video of it. Oh, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Brian. That was dope. You know what? Somebody posted up in our I'm in a Hakeem Olajuwon card collectors page, and somebody posted a card of Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler autograph. I think it was National Treasure. Such a dope card. I will always wipe my cards down first, no matter what, no matter who I'm submitting to. Might help find something I missed when it comes back. Yeah. I don't, and that's a bad habit of mine that I don't, for sure. I've got a buddy who was told that he could have the new flip. Just wait 6 more months. Yeah, I mean it's gonna get ugly. I guarantee you that. Beat the House, sports and politics. What's up, man? I like that name. On the other side of the coin of the best acrylic and letting the most light in is potential UV damage. So that is very true, but I think as I'm looking at this, these kind of have like a tint to them, CSG, that I think is UV protection. I don't know whose cars. I mean, I don't know. I honestly don't know how much UV protection is behind these, to be honest with you. That'd be something to look into as well. BGS or UV protected and waterproof. We shall see. That's one thing that I'm going to do. TGT is in the house. What's up, man? What do you think about pure graded X? I don't think anything of them. I never gave them a chance for a couple reasons. They reached out to me originally about reviewing their slabs, and then they're like, "Oh, we're gonna send you some slabs for you to review them." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And then they never did, and then they never reached back out to me, and then something else happened where they reached out again, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna send you some stuff," and I was like, "All right, cool." But then they never got back in touch with me, so I don't have an opinion on them because I've never graded with them. Now, the reason why I never graded with them is the same reason why I never graded with what's the other one, the RCG Revolution card grading or whatever. They're simply not providing anything new that is intriguing enough for me to step away from SGC or even PSA for that matter. I mean, they're just those companies, in my opinion, they're just PSA replicas with nicer labels. And at the time, I was already submitting with HGA. So like, I'm like, okay, I'm already submitting with a company that has nicer labels. So what are you offering other than a nicer label? That's it. Okay, well then I'm already doing that, right? In the case of TGT, they were offering that the grading report card with the notes from the grader and stuff like that, which I thought was very, very interesting. And so I submitted with them. Kind of gave them a my first submission. So as far as pure graded X, I don't really have an opinion on them, good or bad. But I know their owner watches my videos because he's commented on some videos and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I that's pretty much it. Steel. Sorry, I wish I had more for you on that. You need the jaws of life to crack open a BGS slab compared to other companies. Elon, have you tried cracking an HGA slab? If not, I'd be curious and to let me know what your opinion is. So if you don't know, we're hiring in-office and virtual graders. TGT is expanding. In-office and virtual graders. Interesting. Okay. Did you guys change your label TGT? I saw the video Pittsburgh did where you show the subgrades on the back. Yes, they did. We have cracked a lot of slabs. What is, in your opinion? I'm assuming this is Alan. What is the hardest slab to crack? My experience is HGA is the hardest ones to crack because they don't crack. They simply don't crack. I'm curious at TGT, does virtual grading provide challenges when the card isn't in the presence of the grader? If you're hiring, I'm assuming you've probably mitigated that. Oh, that's a good question. And that's kind of what made me go, virtual graders, huh? I would imagine that that's where kind of the high-end scans come in. If HGA would label my card right, I would go there, but the two orders that they messed it up. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Any opinions on elite card grading? I have no idea who that is, Tommy. I don't know who that is. Elite card grading. Again, for me to be willing, because I'm always willing to give these new companies a shot. However, it has to be something that is different or intriguing enough for me to send it there. No waiting, just grading. I mean, I'll give them a little plug here. No waiting, just grading. Best on market security. Laser engraving of each matching serial number on the front and rear of the card. Slab corresponds with the holographic security decal on each label. That's kind of cool, I guess. What do their slabs look like? Oh, it looks like they got a little. What is this? Yeah, I mean, again, no membership required. What's their? So platinum is 2 to 5 days, but what does that cost? Gold, silver, bronze, protect. But what is it? What are the costs? Gold, silver, and bronze can add subgrades. But what's the base cost? Oh, here it is. 35 per card, 100 per card, 18 per card, unlimited 8 per card. Cards only slab, no grading. Well, that's okay. Yeah, again, man, it's one of those things where it's just there's nothing really intriguing there. Sixers are crushing it. Well, they got Harden now. That was, man, when that trade happened, I was like, hell yes. That means my Rockets are gonna be holding on to some nice picks there. See, TGT agrees. HGA is by far the hardest to crack. If you use a wrench, you can crack anything. Yeah, for sure. Al Noir's Comics and Collectibles. I'm getting my first sub from SGC Monday. Got a 2000 Skybox Dominion Tom Brady graded at a 9. Nice. That's a good card to have. Just get a bigger. Brian says, just get a bigger hammer. Just crack that thing to all hell. Sacramento actually won that trade. They needed to get a center power forward, left Sabonis. Oh, for sure. So that was a huge trade too. And it was crazy because they traded Halliburton, which I thought was insane because, prior to that trade, they had been talking big about how they were going to, build around Halliburton and how Halliburton was going to be kind of the future. And man, I guess something happened. They saw something in Sabonis that they just felt like they needed to have him more than anything. I like Sabonis. I think he's a good post like anchor type player. I just don't think I don't think they you know I'm like I said, I'm just surprised that they got rid of Halliburton, which I never would have thought happened. Would have happened, honestly. I mean, that's like getting rid of like your franchise future, I guess. I don't know. Again, maybe they saw something in him that they didn't like, or just saw something in Sabonis that they just love that much. But hey, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, there was a huge trade that happened between the Pacers and the Sacramento Kings, and it sent. They want me, Tyrese Halliburton, fueled by trade, ready for new chapter. They ain't want me, so he got his feelings hurt. Shows why Kings traded for him in debut. Plays key role in the win over the Wolves. Dang, what did he put up? 22-14. Wow. Yeah, so Sabonis is good, man. I again, I like him. I think he's a good player. I mean, shit, I would have thought they would at least try to, would have at least tried to make some sense of holding on to him. Yeah, it was a crazy trade for sure. For sure. Sacramento actually won that trade. They needed a center power forward, left Sabonis. Yep. I agree, man. Retro, if you need 2 PSA slabs for the test, I'll sell you 2 slabs on ComC for $1 each. Let me know, Nick. We'll figure that out. Send me some links on Instagram or send me a link and an email or something. We'll definitely figure that out. Yeah, but they let go of Heald and Halliburton. I mean, like out of that foursome that you got right there, Teddy, I would imagine the two ballers there definitely Heald. I mean, Heald was a sharpshooter, and Halliburton was still, still green as a blade of grass. I mean, not green, but you know what I mean. He was still developing. Out of those four, I would imagine that they would have tried to keep, at minimum Heald and Fox or Heald and Mitchell. But I think I don't know. I just think they let go of the wrong two. I think they gave up too much, and I really hope that Sabonis, ends up being what they want him. But we'll see. Ben Simmons is going to be an interesting thing to watch over the rest of this season. Because apparently once he found out he was going, I mean, he ended up going to Philly, right? 76ers and Brooklyn Nets. Big deadline move. Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks to the Nets for James Harden. So apparently Simmons is like ready to go. Like he showed up in Brooklyn and was like, "Let's go. We're winning some games." So I don't know, man. The kid, for somebody who was such a big star and had all this promise, and he's really fallen from grace. I think. It's gonna take some good performances for him to kind of get back in the mix, but we'll see. Retro, watched your SGC PSA video earlier this week. Had a local card show and saw way more SGC slabs than I've ever seen at a show before. I think they're stealing lots of mid to low end business from PSA. Ryan, I agree, man. I think people who are, obviously the big, if you pull a LeBron James rookie card or you find one in a binder somewhere at a garage sale or something, it's going to it's going to PSA, right? I mean, that's where it's going to go. I just don't think that like you said, the mid tier and the PC stuff, it's not worth it to send it to PSA. It's just not. Everything points to SGC, but that's good to see that there's a lot more of them on the tables at dealers now and card shows, and hopefully they start trading for for a little bit more than people start to demand. I made a video a while back, like 6 months ago or whatever, where I was saying, hey, if you want the price of SGC cards to go up, then you have to stop accepting low money for them. If you have to stop accepting a fourth of the price of a PSA, right? It's the same card, right? Like, I don't know. I never understood that. If I had a PSA 10 James Harden rookie card that's going to sell for $5,000, and I have a SGC 10 James Harden rookie card, why am I going to sell that card for $1,000? Why? Why would you accept that? I just don't understand. I never understood that. And I think it's, I don't get it. I would much, if I was in that situation, I'd be asking the same for both. And you might be able to talk me down on the SGC a little bit, say that it's less desirable, but I don't know that. I don't understand why they would do that. It's the same effing card. So what are we buying here? Are we buying the card or are we buying the label? Right? If you're looking at it from an investment standpoint, then I can understand the prospect of a PSA card holding its value over time is what would lead you to pay top dollar for it. But again, what are we doing? What are we doing? We'll see. Ben Simmons' last 5 minutes of the game. You cannot put the ball in Ben Simmons' hands in a clutch situation. Don't do it. Take him out of the game because 9 times out of 10 he's going to screw you. Global Sport Conference. I'm all in on Josh Giddey, Rookie of the Year, for sure. Oh, speaking of Josh Giddey, I pulled a really nice Josh Giddey earlier, and you know what? Right now, so people talk, pretty bad about. Not they don't talk bad, but hoops isn't necessarily regarded as like a really nice card to have in terms of, um, rookies, right? I like them because it's kind of like just like tops, like paper, But I pulled a really nice Josh Giddey. Let's see if I can find it. A purple Josh Giddey, I think. Dang, where did he go? Was that it? No, that's Evan Mobley. Pulled a purple Evan Mobley, so that one's kind of cool. Oh snap! Somebody completed their. I pulled quite a few Cade Cunninghams, including a blue Cade Cunningham, which that's kind of cool. I know I pulled a Josh Giddey. I think I pulled a Josh Giddey like oh, here we go. Class 2021 Josh Giddey. And I need to go back and pull out all the rookies, but y'all know my boy Shingun. That's another one y'all need to watch out for. Shingun's gonna be a beast. Josh Green. Anyway, yeah, good stuff. So, yeah, collect a prospect, raw, hold, they work out, then grade. That is a good. That's yes. Because what's the point of spending your money on the grade, right? Unless you're just really into them, right? So, for example, when we had Capella, when the Rockets had Capella, I was in on Capella. He was my PC guy. I really enjoyed collecting him. I really enjoyed watching him play. Much like Shingun at this point, I really enjoy watching him play. I really enjoy collecting him. I'm going to try to collect everything that I can of his. So that's kind of that, right? So those cards, like, yeah, okay, you want to send those off to get graded because you like them or whatever. That's cool, but it is what it is. But definitely hold if it's a prospect, because no one will pay it and you will be holding on to it forever. Yes, we are buying the combo, label and all. I don't believe that. I think. Let me process what you just said. I was going to say we're buying the combo, label and all. Again, one of them, actually both of them have like a market demand, right? I just don't think, I don't know, man, that idea is so superficial to me, I guess. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, straight. I'm just saying, I get what you're saying. I'm saying I disagree with that. I disagree with that idea of it. I don't like that it's being treated like an asset on the stock market. I don't know. I guess that's my problem. My problem is that if we're doing that, then we're buying it based off the idea of what it could potentially be worth, and we're looking at it like an asset, as opposed to looking at it for what it is. It's a piece of cardboard with a grown man on it playing a game that we all love. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's the romantic side of me. Yeah, I'm with you. The market, yeah, okay. So there's a market for it, right? I don't know. I guess the fact that I'm such a non-investor and I buy mainly for PC, 99% or 98% of what I buy is because I like it, not because I buy it because I think it's going to be worth more. That doesn't apply to me, I guess. I don't care what the market thinks. I go with what I like. And I go with the companies that are doing good business, in my opinion. So I'm with you straight. I agree with you. I just don't like it, and that's the reason why I don't like it. What's called and Embiid, and they both blamed on public losing the finals last year. Doc Rivers is a pretender. PSA non-modern base treated like trash. Hobby is effed up. People are definitely driven by grading. Yeah, they're driven by grading because the market has spoken. It's not the way it should be. Agreed. Okay, so we can agree on that, right? And I can agree with you that that's the way it is. That's fine. I'm with that. Man, thanks for the great combo. I love the slab talk because I can't wait for a company I like to grade. With that makes sense. I also seems like this last NBA draft could be good. Boney Highland is my pick. Bones Highland is my pick. Bones Highland. Okay, you threw me a loop on that one. The name sounds familiar, and I think I may have a couple Bones Highland. Who's he with? Oh, he's with Denver. Okay, Nishan Highland. Okay, yeah. I was like, man, who's Bones Highland? Busy Bones is his Twitter handle. That's cool. Yeah, again, man. See, like like I had no idea who this guy. I had no idea who Bones Highland is, but that's your guy, though. You know what I mean? So, like, if you pull something, it's dope. Why do you think vintage is so much easier to move when it comes to grading? People will buy all different grades. Modern, no. Um, so let's label vintage, right? Vintage being, let's call it anything 1999 and below, right? I mean, you can almost consider anything post 2000s vintage because I think was anything over 25 years of age is vintage. But vintage really comes down to, like, if you have a raw card that's that old, like my 86 Fleer Elijah ones that I sent off to get graded, I know those things are not going to be any better than a 6. If they come back higher than a 6, then I just can't respect PSA at all at that point. Because I mean, the cards are not that good grade. They're not that good condition. Why? Simply because it's a 35-year-old card or a 34-year-old card. And those cards came out during a time when collecting cards was really about collecting cards. They were stacked on top of each other. They were wrapped in rubber bands. They were stuck in bicycle tires, and they were treated just like they should be treated because they're simply pieces of cardboard, right? And so it's more likely that I will buy a graded PSA 5, PSA 6, PSA 7, 86 Fleer, 87 Fleer, 88 Fleer, 80. I was looking for Reggie Miller rookie cards the other day, and I almost pulled the trigger on a PSA 6, PSA 7, just simply because I really don't care. I know it's such an old card, and that's why PSA 10s are just the holy grail of those cards because, let's face it, those cards were simply not treated as assets back then. They were just pieces of cardboard with guys' pictures on them. It's that simple. Nobody was holding on to, a Jordan. Nobody cared. You know, it's that simple. It's just, people don't care. NBA Nuggets first pick, kid can play and play it looks. Yeah. Oh, that's how we brought it up. Drilled a huge 3 in crunch time. Man, I'll tell you who else is like who's come up clutch that I've been watching. I mean, it's because I watch my Rockets, but is Kevin Porter Jr. He hit like 2 daggers like a couple nights ago, and then hit like a clutch 3 in one game, and then like back to back buzzer beaters, or hit a buzzer beater. I mean, he's turning out to be pretty clutch. I'm so happy that the Rockets picked him up, man. I think they got him out of a pretty bad situation over there, and it is what it is. But I think it becomes this vintage. You're actually just buying the card and not the slab. Yes, exactly. That's my point. You're actually buying the card. You don't care what the slab is. It doesn't matter, right? I must be older, but I consider vintage pre-1980. So I go by the rule, like even with cars, right? Like if I'm calling a car a vintage car, it's basically a car that's over 25, 30 years old. That would make me vintage, but it kind of is what it is. I picked up an AI insert PSA Pop 1 for $8.50. It's a keeper PC now. I wouldn't have taken $50 for it. Yeah, I mean, those are the things that people that people they want to grade, they want to collect, and they want to hold on to them. So do me a favor, guys, if you haven't already, hit the like button on the stream if you're hanging out. Appreciate you guys. 90s Marvel, that stuff was so mass produced. Silver Surfer hologram. Yeah. Yep. Big. Oh, hey, Marvelous is in the house. What's up, man? My resident Marvel Universe card expert is Marvelous Packs. If you guys haven't checked them out on Instagram, if you got any Marvel related, you guys want to see some Marvel related content, man, they do some good stuff. Vintage populations. Older vintage pops are like 1,000 times lower as well. Real vintage should be 1970 and older. I grew up in the 80s, so vintage can be more than 20. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of, that term vintage is kind of subjective, right? But yeah. Retro vintage collectibles. KBJ showing big game style, respect his game. Yeah, dude, he's such a beast, man. And it was funny too because I'd say probably about like 2 months ago or like a month ago, he had a pretty big spat with one of the coaches. And it went like viral, like, oh, here we go again. KPJ is, having off the court issues and throwing tantrums and all this other stuff. And then they just they just worked it out and the next game, I think he got suspended the next game, and then his game coming back from suspension is when he hit the first buzzer beater, and the first person to run out there and give him a big old hug was Coach Silas, which is pretty dope because then that shows like, okay, he can get upset. We'll give him his room to be upset, but we're playing basketball here, so let's get back to let's get it together. You know what I mean? What do you think what impact do you think an economic downturn will cause in the hobby and in grading? So I'm no economist, but I will say that part of what there was a lot of things that fueled the run up, right? The pandemic was most definitely one of them. A lot of influencer hype was another thing, and then that free money, that free money that was flying in. People had stimulus checks, that they were hitting their bank accounts, and they're like, especially the people who were still working, I mean, obviously the people who were really hurting bad, use that for survival, the money. But, if you were working still during the pandemic, you were able to work from home and still maintain your job and still continue to get paid. Then life never didn't really change for you. And you just got an extra fat check, in the mail. And so people were like, hey, what's this hype about sports cards? I used to collect sports cards. Let me see what's going on here. And then boom, there you go. So I think a lot of what fueled the run up is now no longer in play, and it's going to continue to fuel the downturn. So as the economy gets worse or better, whatever the case may be, inflation is definitely a real topic. So all that kind of stuff is going to come into play, and we'll see what it does. But I think as people had discretionary income, and by discretionary income I mean like money that you could blow, people were buying sports cards, and so the prices continue to run up. But I think we're starting to see people having less and less discretionary income, especially within the kind of the dollar amounts where a lot of transactions happen. That 50 to 100 to $250 range, $50 to $250 range, where people just aren't buying as many cards anymore. And we'll see what's what, but definitely they correlate, I would say. Bad economy is definitely going to not do well for the sports card market. Roman, what's up, man? Keelan is in the house. What's up, man? Marvelous says thanks for the shout out, man. Much appreciated. Hey, I still look. I keep talking about it, and I got to do it. But my brother has we're doing a huge submission for Star Wars cards. I got a bunch of stuff that's going out to SGC. I thought I had completed my Power in the Key set. I was waiting on one more card to come back, and I bought it. It was a PSA 6. It was an Alonzo Mourning PSA 6. I bought it cheap. I knew it was a PSA 6. However, once I opened that thing up, I mean, it was horrible. I don't know how that card got a 6, because it had all kinds of dents and scratches on the back and the edges. I mean, it was bad. Like, even, I don't know. I just did not think it was going to even get a SGC 5 I mean, it would have probably came back a 3 or a 4 or something. It was that bad. So I'm on the hunt again for another Alonzo Mourning Power in the Key from 93-94 Fleer. so I can finish off that set and send it off for grading. Hopefully TGT can send you a copy of my card once it's finished so you can display it on your stream. I would be happy to, Keelan. I would be happy to, man. Who did you have higher hopes for in Houston? T-Mac, Yao, or Harden and Westbrook? T-Mac and Yao, hands down. The moment that we traded for Westbrook, I knew that was not going to happen. If you look at all these championship teams in the NBA, look back at all of them for the last maybe 10 years. And what you're going to find is balance, right? You're going to find balance. You're going to find big men that know their role. You're going to find point guards that know their role, power forwards and shooters, point guards shooting guards and small forwards. It really comes down to the shooting guards and the small forwards really knowing what their role is, right? Because the point guard, he's clear, right? The power forward, he's clear. The center, he's clear, right? It's a matter of those shooting guards and those small forwards knowing what their role is, right? And when you put Harden and Westbrook together and put them both on the floor, you just got two alpha males out there that are just going to be fine. I knew that was never going to work. It was exciting, don't get me wrong, and yes, and Brody and the beard and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it sold tickets. I'm sure it sold jerseys and made for good conversation. I just knew that was not going anywhere. I really did. I didn't like that at all. So definitely T-Mac and Yao. I mean, T-Mac and Yao were, it was, T-Mac and Yao, they both knew what they were doing. And then, the ancillary players kind of just coming in and doing their thing too. But let's see him. I'm trying to make sure I'm caught up. All right, I'm caught up all the way down to the bottom. On sports cards, tax returns come in. People are going to splurge on the cards again for a minute. Yeah, that's true. Because people ain't gonna be buying cars. That's for sure. Cars are so freaking expensive right now. I was actually planning on buying a new car, but man, I have a little Toyota. I have a little Scion, the little toaster box Scions. That thing's been a beast. I love that car, so I'm just gonna hold on. But Yao dominated when he was healthy. Shaq was put in his place several times. Man, but that's what happens with the big men, right? If it's not, it's usually the feet, right? I mean, a la Bobo. Bobo right now is out because of his foot. I think Taco Fall also, his foot. I mean, those big men, they get those micro fractures and then that's it. It's a wrap. But what a sad situation with Yao, man, because he definitely could have been. I mean, the Rockets have such a pedigree of pulling these amazing big men and then just never really panning out, with the exception of Olajuwon. I mean, because we even had Dwight Howard for a while, who was like, one of the best. I mean, I think we kind of got him on his descent a little bit, so we didn't really have like peak Dwight Howard, but I mean, we did all right, I think, Is Fanatics already going to be the company producing baseball cards this year? No, I think Top still holds. No, I think Top still holds the. They still hold their licenses for like, I think to the end of 2025 or for like 5 more years or something like that. But I don't really think Fanatics is going to start churning stuff out. We'll see. T-Mac to me is what Hakeem is for you. Love this shoes growing up as a kid. Nice. That's funny. Or a car from the factory, no markup. I don't even know how to do that. How does that? That's one of the things that pissed me off, man. When the before the, I don't know if it was before the pandemic or during the pandemic, when they announced the new C8s, and they were like, it was like this big thing, right? And they announced them. It was like gonna be like the first mid-engine Corvette and all this other stuff, and it was great. And then, they were like, oh, this is, they were showing all the technology and everything that went into the new C8s and all this other stuff. And then I was like, oh man, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. And then they were like, all this for, $65,000. I was like, what? Like, that's a hell of a car for 65 grand. So the next morning I called the dealership. I'm like, hey, put me on the waiting list. $65,000, put me on the waiting list. You know, I haven't bought a new car in like 15 years, but God damn it, we're gonna buy this new C8. And the lady said, yeah, sure, no problem. So in order to put you on the list, it's a $10,000 down payment to put you on the list. And just so you know, the price of the car. And I'm like, yeah. I already know the price of the car. It's $64,000, $65,000. And she's like, oh no. She's like, we're doing a $25,000 dealer markup, market adjustment markup. And I'm like, bitch, you crazy. I was that. Look, I probably could have given you the $10,000, but not for no $90,000 car. I mean, you're just stupid in your head. And now you can't find one for less than $100,000. So good luck with that. Good luck with that. From the deal. Yeah, I don't know how I'm looking to get a C8. They're still very nice cars. I'll tell you what though, Roman, if you're a car guy, you'll know what I'm talking about. I have a buddy of mine who owns several mechanic shops. He's been a Corvette fan since day one. He's had every Corvette you can think of, from the C5s all the way C4s all the way up to the latest C7s, and he's had every Z06 and ZR1 you can think of. He's a big Corvette guy. And when the C8s came out, he was like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, they're cool, you know, it's nice. And, you know, I think he had another buddy who picked one up, took it for a spin and all that stuff. And he goes, I'm going to tell you what the ticket is. He's like, everybody's selling their C7s to buy the C8s. And I think he ended up buying a C7 the last year. It was just like 2017 or 2018. C7 Z06, fully specced out. And bought it. And he's like, I'm going to sit on this car. And I'm like, why would you buy that? Like, you're literally buying the car that is not, you know, the car anymore. The new car is the C8. And he goes, yeah, man, but think about it. He goes, you know, the C8 is the new mid-engine. That means that the C7 is the last rear wheel front engine Corvette to ever be made again. They will never go back to this, right? Because once you go mid-engine, like, that's, you know. And I started thinking about it. He's like, man, so from a collecting standpoint, he said, you want to find a Z06 with all the bells and whistles on it, buy it, hold it. If you can find it in red with black interior, that is the way to go. That car may depreciate over the next 2 or 3 years, but then after that, people are going to realize, holy shit, there's no more of these cars. There will never be another rear wheel Corvette ever again. And prices are going to start going up. It's going to start going up. So anyway, a little car talk there, but don't forget about the drop on Monday morning. Disney Golden Moments hitting Vive and a gem squeeze is great buying opportunity for the collectibles. Sorry, we'll keep trying to keep it on cars. Oh, you're talking about NFTs, man. That shit just right over the top of my head, man. Right over the top of my head. What's the morning is on eBay? Yeah, I haven't looked yet. I haven't looked yet, but I'm sure there's one somewhere. TGT pack. Alvin, what's going on, man? Welcome. That's smart, but I don't have that much money. Yeah, neither do I, Roman. Trust me. I was gonna try to see if I can sell a kidney on the black market, but definitely the car to have though, man. I was just kind of thinking about it. I was like, dang. And then just recently here, I started kind of looking at C5s again, because that C5 is like my favorite. That's my favorite year Corvette. So I started kind of looking at C5s again, and I was like, man, I'd like to pick up a nice C5. I started looking at the 50th anniversary C5s, and they're like in the teens. I'm like, what? You know, we're talking about a old car here, and you know, they're in the teens, which is crazy. But all right. I want to do one round of Super Bowl predictions before we shut it down, because I'm gonna be shutting it down here in a little bit. Everybody, give me your Super Bowl predictions. And then I'm curious what everybody thinks it's going to be. Who's going to win and what the score is going to be. You guys let me know. So I think it's going to be 21-24. And I think that the Chargers are going to win. I want the Chargers to win. I really do. 21-24 Chargers is what I have. I think the over-under is like 48. What is the Let me see. Super Bowl odds. There it is right there. Super Bowl odds. What are the odds? Over under is 48.5. Jesus. So it's Rams -4 is what the spread is. The over under is 48.5. Man, I'm taking the under on that. What are you guys taking on that over under? I mean, it's 48.5. I'm definitely taking the under on that. I don't think Burrow's gonna do as well as they think he's gonna do. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Those of you saying Bengals. It's a lot of you are saying Rams. Everybody's going Rams. I'm with you guys. I think tomorrow Snoop Dogg is going to bring the fire, and I predict lots of lowriders on the field. Bengals and Joe win on a final drive. Man, Marvelous said Joey B is going to go out there and flex that clutch muscle, huh? You going, Alan? Alan's going to be there. I know TGT's going to be in the house. Rams 28-17, 27-17, Rams 31-27. Brian thinks it's going to be a shootout. It could be. The Rams will be a sloppy game, 27-20, interceptions galore. Rams win on the whole field. Yeah, I think I think that look, don't get me wrong, Joe's been on a lot of, he's been on, the college championship field and all that stuff, but that Super Bowl, man, that's a whole nother set of lights right there, man. I don't think he's gonna be. I think the moment's gonna be too big for him. I think the moment's gonna be too big for him. Listen, I just want the game to be good, right? I don't want a blowout. If it's a blowout, it's gonna suck, man. I'm not gonna be happy about that. I'm hoping it's not a blowout. We'll see though. I'm taking Bengals 32-24. Everyone's picking Rams. Keelan says he's taking the Bengals, the kitty cats. What a collector. What a collector say. 31-16. Yeah, everybody's going Rams. Everybody's going Rams. Somebody's telling me to check my IG. Alan's gonna send me his ticket stub from the. Alan's gonna send me his ticket stub. Talking about I'm going to the game, baby. Oh, he sent me that Alonzo. Yeah, I'm gonna check on. Man, the thing is that like it's kind of hard to judge. It's hard to judge condition on those things, man. It really is. But it is what it is. I'm taking Bengals 32. Oh, Keelan says he's taking the Kitties. Defense wins championships. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I am with you. Well, guys, this is there's 55 of you guys in here. If you have not hit the like button already, please do so. Somebody told me today that I was almost at 6,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I would highly, highly appreciate it. A lot of videos coming up this week, guys. I got a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's this PSA podcast I got to talk about. There's this fake card that SGC graded that I got to talk about and the response they did to that. There's HGA opening the doors and taking a card through the entire process. I want to talk about that. We got news that we're going to do this week. We got PSA update we're going to do this week. We got hopefully pack rips that I'm going to do this week. So a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, we'll see. I might go live tomorrow after the game, maybe. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button and you hadn't hit the notification bell, please do so because I'm not going to schedule it. It depends on whether or not I drink during the game. That might be entertaining though. I don't know. We'll see. Dallas card show coming up. I will definitely be there. I need to. So I said, announce you PO. I need to get that PO box set up, man. I'm dragging my feet on it, honestly, and I don't know why, but I need to get that set up, and I definitely will. Dallas card show. I am going. I need to book my room. So I definitely will be going this year to the card show, or this next one to the Dallas card show. I didn't go last week. Last minute things popped up, but this time I'm scheduling it out properly. So I definitely will be there Friday and Saturday. Yeah, so we'll check it out. Thank you guys to everybody who was. I am absolutely slacking on that PO box, man. I am dragging my feet, and I don't know why. I don't know why. There's so many people that have reached out to me like, yo, man, I got some stuff that I'd like to send you. Let me know. And it's just getting to be so many people that I'm becoming less and less and less comfortable with giving out my home address. So I definitely need to set up a PO box. But thank you guys very much for joining the live tonight. Special shout out to Top Choice who sent me a super chat. So I appreciate that, Tops. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a good night. Hopefully, the Super Bowl ends up being as entertaining as we all hope for it to be. This halftime show is definitely going to be entertaining. And the commercials are always the best. There's always going to be one in there that's going to make you cry. It's going to really pull at those heartstrings. I think Chevy did it last year with the with the commercial, but anyway, it was all good stuff. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good time tomorrow. We'll see you guys back next week, Monday through. I'm gonna try to do 5 videos next week because I got a lot of stuff to talk about. So I'll try to bang those out and get them going. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys for kind of being patient with me through this whole process of setting up this new computer. But again, I did it all in the spirit of making sure that I can continue to put out good videos. So that's kind of the whole gist of everything. So, all right, that's going to do it. Love you guys. Peace.